Welcome to the Story of Liberty. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states, and they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that, as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Many have addressed an issue of God as the supreme judge in some detail. A brief review here is in order. First, the idea of calling upon a supreme judge was a major part of John Locke's overall theory of revolution in the Second Treaty. The founder surely had Locke's argument in mind when writing the last paragraph of the Declaration. Locke drew his principles from the account of Jebediah in Judges 11:27. By following Locke, who was following the Bible, the founders themselves were applying a political idea drawn from Scripture. Furthermore, the idea was not original with Locke. Numerous Puritan political writers had talked about God as supreme judge. One notable example is Samuel Rutherford, who referred to God as supreme judge in ways almost identical to those of John Locke. Calling upon God as supreme judge was part of the parcel of Calvinistic and Puritan political theory. For the Declaration to employ the term supreme judge in a like manner is clear evidence of Calvinistic influence, not of deism. But one critical point was not addressed: the theological significance of seeing God as supreme judge. The importance relates to the fact that John Locke studied Hebrew and sought to master the Old Testament. That the idea of God as judge was important to him and to others of that time shows just how strongly they were influenced by the Old Testament. It has been shown that the concept of God as Scripture and supreme judge is central to all Old New Testament theology. The Old Testament views God as judge of the whole earth in Genesis 18:25. The law, and to challenge his law, is to violate nature itself. Quell remarks, in such declarations, Yahweh is undoubtedly thought of in terms of his office as ruler and judge. To view God as a judge who intervenes in human affairs to protect the weak from wrongdoers is particularly a mark of biblical religion. For Rutherford, Locke, and the Declaration, to speak of God as supreme judge is not deistic. The dictionary notes that deism did not regard judgment as one of the truths of natural religion. To believe that God intervenes as judge in the affairs of men is incompatible with the deistic view of God that holds him to be aloft to human events. To speak of God as supreme judge is not Greek either. The Greeks, for the most part, believed in fate rather than divine judgment. Judaism, on the other hand, held that it is one of the cardinal articles of faith that God judges, that he does not just let evil occur without resisting it, that he upholds with punishment and rewards his holy law, that he enforces it irresistibly in face of those who despise it. Therefore, the view of God as supreme judge in the Declaration cannot be traced to deism or Greek thinking. It can only be traced to influence of the biblical religion. A reading of the Defending of the Declaration by Gary T. Amos.